Movies, once again, is going to be a little short and sweet, but kind of is the way it is. What with, the strikes and things. We do have Winnie the Pooh back in the movies section for reasons. We also have the season of the horror movie trailer, as well as a movie trailer that we've kind of been keeping our eyes on, but haven't heard much for a while. So we're going to get into that. Welcome, nerds, to the movie news for the week. This is where we're going to be talking about all of the nerdy and or pop culture related movie news that we can get our grubby little hands on. So like if it's been announced, if there's a new trailer, if there's casting, all of that's gonna be here. So let's get into that, shall we? Follow-ups and corrections here in movies is Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Yes, that Winnie the Pooh movie is getting a sequel and it has begun its production. I'm assuming that the production company that is making these movies is small enough that it's not represented by where the strikes are happening, and all of the things do not affect this movie. So yeah, it would seem that we're in some sort of active production. I don't know if it's photography, if they're actually filming, or if they're just doing pre-production or what have you. Wasn't that specific with the announcement, but it's working. And they also apparently recast Christopher Robin for the second movie, which is strange, but kind of what happens when you have a shoestring budget. If the guy asks for more than you can give him, you go with a new guy. So yeah, that's what we're looking at for follow-ups and corrections. So let's jump over to trailers. This gets a little interesting. Starting things off in trailers, we have a relatively benign one, but it stars David Duchovny and Meg Ryan. It's called What Happens Later, set to be released October 13th. It's a new rom-com movie. It's worth noting for the nerd community because obviously David Duchovny, but also this seems like there's going to be some sort of weird supernatural element to it. It seems rather subtle as evidenced by the trailer, but definitely there. Go watch the trailer. Let me know if you see what I'm talking about, because like I said, it's fairly subtle. So maybe I'm just making it up in my head, whatever. From there, though, we have, this is one I've actually honestly been waiting. I literally just asked somebody at the day job if they had heard anything about this, 2 days before I saw it in my suggested feed. Apparently, though, this trailer came out a little over a week ago, and it just flew under the radar for a minute. So, Onyx, the Fortuitous, and the Talisman of Souls is actually getting a theatrical release. I'm super excited about this. If you don't know what Onyx, the Fortuitous, and Talisman of Souls is, you probably know who Onyx the Fortuitous is, because if you're watching this, then I would assume you're at least a little bit nerdy, so your YouTube algorithm has fed you some things that are big in the subculture of the nerd community. And one of those things, at least I would say probably about 3 or 4 years ago, was the weird Comic-Con guy. Talks kind of quick, as I don't know. This one, when he's... That's Onyx the Fortuitous. There have been a couple of those videos that have kind of gone slightly viral, the biggest of which is the weird Comic-Con guy. Absolutely staged. The guy who's doing the... I don't know. Game kind of cool. That guy, that is Bowser. I can't remember his first name, but Bowser is his last name. He has a YouTube channel where Onyx is one of many characters that he's come up with, and he does a bunch of shorts with them. Onyx is by far the most popular. It's why he's getting a movie unto himself. And Bowser just is a really interesting addition to the community. I just really, really dig the voice that he brings, because he's not easily pigeonholed into any one box as far as he gets a little bit old school as far as his expectations for properties. He is not a big fan of many of the remakes, but then he's also from California, so he's got a very left kind of leaning ideology when it comes to social politics. Words. So yeah, just a really interesting character. Really, I would love to interview this guy someday. Hopefully, once we can get, interviews rolling again, that will be a thing that I can actively pursue. But yeah, just super excited about this. He started a Kickstarter approximately 2 years ago to get this movie made. It has since been made. He's apparently taken it on the film festival circuit and won a couple awards, and now it's becoming a Fathom Events thing. As of October 19th, I'm sure that is the only day, but October 19th is the day that you can go see Onyx the Fortuitous and the Talisman of Souls at your local Fathom Events
theater, so you're gonna have to look that up. That is local to you. I know there's 3 that are quote unquote near me. I think the closest one is like 30 miles away from where I live. So yeah, not exactly the easiest thing to do, but absolutely gonna be worth it, because just a again, super funny character that we're all quasi familiar with anyway. So you might as well support the community, support independent art, go do the thing and be a supportive person. But yeah, check out the trailer if you doubt me, because the trailer's pretty damn funny too. From there, we have some horror movies. Now, remember, we talked about the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey, right? Because that's a thing that has happened and actually didn't deserve to be as good as it was. Not saying it was a good movie, just better than anticipated. But yeah, we have a couple of more movies in that same vein that have recently dropped trailers. So let's talk about that. First up is Mary Had a Little Lamb. This one is coming out October 3rd. And like, I'm kind of here for this. I'm not gonna lie. I think this is funny in the best way. It's not a little cringy, but that's where I was going with that. It's cringy in the best way. Funny, yes, because it's cringy. And then the other one is Three Blind Mice. That's the other trailer that we're talking about. Both of these trailers take themselves a little bit more seriously, I think, than the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey movie did. So I don't know if they're going to be so bad they're good quality, or if they're just going to be taking themselves far too seriously. But apparently there are also 2 different Cinderella Thrasher movies. I was unable to find trailers for them or anything other than the announcement that they exist. So as more on those develops, we'll definitely be covering it. But yeah, we have Mary Had a Little Lamb and Three Blind Mice dropped trailers in the last week, so that's worth your time to at least watch the trailer, so go do that. And then our final trailer for this episode is a new alien horror movie. Not alien like Xenomorph's Alien, but this one is called No One Will Save You. It's coming straight to streaming over on Hulu September 22nd. Very different take. What this looks like to me is if Signs was actually scary. No crop circles or anything like that, no water-fearing aliens, it would seem, but definitely some edge-of-your-seat kind of white-knuckle action, for sure. Go check out that trailer if you want to know what I'm talking about. That's what we got for trailers. That's actually all we got for the movies section, so let's jump into the suggestion for movies this week. Iron Man, OG MCU Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr.'s first outing as the character, first full movie worth of outing as the character. Go back and remember why we were so excited about the MCU becoming a thing. Go back and remember why the longer gaps between movies was a good idea, because Iron Man to Iron Man 2, there was a pretty decent gap between those movies. We weren't getting like 4 or 5 MCU movies a year at that time. We were getting like maybe 1 or 2. And it was good, and it was great, and everybody loved it. And so, yeah, that is absolutely, and it's also just very well done movie. So kind of sort of still holds up almost as well as it did when it first released. Go check out Iron Man. And once again, nerds, this is just a clip from the main show, the Weekend Nerddom, over on the main channel, youtube.com/generally nerdy. Go check that out for the entire episode, or just stay tuned here for other news related to nerdy pop culture stuff and just random fun little bits. Before we head out, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.